Ahoy, Voyagers! Welcome back to HY Voyagers. I am your captain, Amelia, speaking. Today, I'm going to be doing a brief presentation on volunteerism and the benefits of giving your time. As an international student or immigrant, it is very important to build your sense of community, and this is very easy to achieve when you do volunteerism work. From what I've been told and through a little bit of research, not every country focuses on volunteerism. However, here in Canada, volunteerism is integrated into our culture very, very closely. So we're going to teach you a little bit about why it's important to start volunteering your time and how that can benefit you in your future career and life here in Canada. All right, let's dive in. I'm just going to start off with a quote from Gandhi. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. This is a very pertinent quote. And as we go through this presentation, you'll start to understand why this is true. And just to go over a few things before we start, this is kind of what we're going to talk about today. Volunteerism quotes. What is volunteerism? Why is it important to Canada? Their benefits. How does it lead you to your ideal job? Because volunteering can very much open job opportunities, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Some references to why do I need them in Canada. References are very important when applying for jobs, and we'll talk about that. How to get started, organizations to find volunteer opportunities here in Canada, and a little more specifically in Ontario and Sudbury. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this program called Achieve Ontario Certificate Program. That is very relevant, and I'm glad I'm going to talk to you about it today. And then we're going to share with you a little bit of what HY Voyagers can do for you guys and help with volunteer opportunities ourselves. All right. And just to do another quote by Rosalind Carter, without volunteers, we'd be a nation without a soul. And as living as a Canadian, I can say that I agree with this quote a lot. When you come to Canada, or if you're already here in Canada, you'll see a lot of events going on, and a lot of them are offered free. And this is often due to volunteerism. Volunteers often make our world just happy, exciting, and crazy fun here in Canada, but it also builds a sense of self-reliance in our communities. We want to help one another and things like that. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the next coming slides. So what is volunteerism? To define it specifically, it's the act of donating time and labor, unpaid, towards common goal or to an organization willingly. And this is generally seen in community service acts. So with volunteerism, you're not getting paid. You're just going and showing up and helping. So you might wonder, well, my time is valuable. But however, there are different ways of being paid other than monetary. And I'll describe a little about what you gain from volunteerism. And why is volunteerism so important in Canada? Well, it's integrated, as I mentioned, into our culture. In our education system, in order to graduate high school, so grades 9 to 12, you must complete a minimum of 40 hours community service before you can graduate. And it's also integrated into workplace culture. A lot of volunteer opportunities for events for the public and things, they're often volunteered by employees. And employees reap benefits, however, not monetary benefits usually. So when you volunteer, you get paid in experience and, and skill building. So this is great if you're just coming to Canada because you don't really have work experience here in Canada and our culture is a little different. So volunteering not only can assist you in experience, but you build skills that you need in your field. And these are very applicable to adding to your resume, and it looks great on your resume. Recruiters and future employers will see all the different skills and a little bit about what you care about, because often you will volunteer with organizations that have the same values and beliefs as you. So this is great for opening opportunities in your network and for finding your job. It also gives companies exposure when you volunteer at things. Let's say a company or a starter might want to go out and just promote themselves. Despite needing some income and not gaining much income from it, it's very good to build connections with others and expose yourself to the public for your branding. And often companies go to events like this and they'll scout people who are volunteers. They can see you in action and what builds your character, and they can often lead companies to hire you on afterwards because they've already seen how you work. And as I mentioned, volunteerism can contribute to community resilience. Helping others leads to great intertwining of your community with you. So if you're new to the community, exposing yourself through volunteerism gives you great credibility and resources in your community. You can also gain professional and personal growth. So you learn how to speak English a little better. You kind of learn all these types of skills while volunteering. Alrighty. So now we're going to move on to strictly the benefits of volunteering. I mentioned a few already, but you get public exposure, you increase your interpersonal skills through communication, you build connections and networks in your community, and it builds professional bridges because the larger your network, the more opportunities you have in your future. It builds trust in your community. It improves workplace skills in Canadian culture. So you start to learn a little bit of the aspects of Canadian workplace culture without it being high stakes, let's say, because when you volunteer, you're already there free and unpaid. So it gives you a chance to work on some skills without worrying about being fired or things like that. So it's a little more less risky. You can showcase your current skills, things you're good at, and that you want to show the public that you are good at. It enhances your resume, as I mentioned. Putting volunteerisms on your resume is great. And as I mentioned, leads to opportunities. People can approach you and be like, oh, I see how well you worked there. Maybe you should come aboard and try working for a company, things like that. Things will open up when you volunteer. And you learn about your community and build a home away from home. Each community is different, and you might discover there is lots of different ethnic groups, things like that, clubs, things you didn't know about. So volunteering can also open those types of doors for you. And it helps you set foundation and roots in your community, enhances your soft skills with people. And also volunteering really can get personal fulfillment and growth. If you love helping animals and you help at a cat shelter, you might leave that day feeling so accomplished. You help those cats. They mean so much to you, things like that. It just really develops your character and gives that sense of achievement. So how does volunteerism land your ideal job? I mentioned recruiters can see your skills in action. When you're volunteering, people can see your organization, your collaboration, your teamwork, your attention to detail, all these types of things recruiters can see when you volunteer. And it also builds your personality and identifies you. What's the better workplace satisfaction? Because if you're all like-minded people working in the same company, you tend to have a lot happier engagement in your workplace. As I mentioned, you gain experience from volunteering, so you can have those skills and experience to transfer into the workplace. So you don't have to struggle to gain those experiences in a place of business, which makes recruiters want you more because you already have a set of skills there. Building your resume helps you land a great job, as I mentioned. Always add volunteerism to your resume. I always say the larger your network, the more opportunities you have. The more connections you have with industry relevant influencers, the more opportunities you can get. A lot of the time, jobs aren't posted to the public. A lot of them always try to search internally. It's about who you know, so networking is very important. You can also gain strong references and increase your credibility for your resume. So if you apply for a job and they ask for references, you have skill-based references and work references to help you land those jobs you want. All right. And references, why do you need them in Canada? Well, references are not something you want in Canada, but something you need and must have in Canada. Most applications for jobs require a solid 3 work references. Building these references takes time because building trust in people takes time. So you want to start now and not when you're trying to apply for jobs. So you always want to volunteer and work at those volunteer opportunities as if it is a job, because it is. However, you're getting paid with experience and you're getting references to land yourself your ideal job. And sometimes volunteer opportunities can turn into real jobs. References have confidence about your character and skills. So they might be, oh, there's a position opening up and I think you'd fit the job. That happens often. So volunteerism can also land you jobs. And remember, personal branding. If you haven't seen that video, I suggest you take a quick peek. But everything you do in the public builds your personal branding. You don't go into this world with what you want, but you always go into the world with who you are. So you want to be authentic, be yourself, and remember when you volunteer, it's building that sense of personal branding for your professional and personal life. All right. And volunteering is one of the best networking tools you can do. It's not what you know, but it's who you know. By networking through volunteerism, you can really broaden your horizons in your network, which can lead you to those opportunities. More opportunities equals more chances for success. And how do we get started? You want to ask yourself a few things before you get started with your volunteering. You want to know what skills do you offer? What do you bring to the table? And what do you enjoy doing? You want to volunteer at a place that you enjoy and that you can bring benefits to that organization. As I mentioned, I am very good with animals. I mentioned cats. I'm very good with animals. I used to do it, animal handling in school. I also own 2 cats, so I might want to volunteer at a cat shelter. I have great cat taking caring skills, and cats like me. I'm very personable with them. So that's something that would make me feel happy, but also I have skills to offer, as an example. And do local research. Each community is different, so you need to make sure you look at those opportunities and what the needs are in your community. And then reach out to those organizations in your community. Start those conversations. Use LinkedIn or other social media platforms. Have fun. So volunteering is not all work. It can be fun and enjoyable and rewarding, as I mentioned. You want to pick something you like, not just something boring, because it really doesn't benefit you much in the future if you're not enjoying what you're doing within the community. And be enthusiastic. You want to show up ready to go, wanting to do those things. You don't want to show up like it's a 9 to 5 and you don't want to be there. People can read that. And if you're a volunteer, you're not much of a loss per se, I don't want to say, but since you're not being paid, they can just not ask you to return. They could find someone else. So you really need to be enthusiastic about what you choose to help with. Ask for reference letters and performance letters. When you're leaving or you no longer can stay at that particular place, you can ask people whoever your leader is or whoever is like spearheading whatever you're volunteering. This can really assist you in your future career by having solid performance letters and reference letters so people can see what skills you brought to the table, how effective you were, and kind of understand you as a brand and as a professional. Hope that makes sense. All right, and here's some organizations to find volunteer opportunities. Some nice places in Ontario. You can go to HY Voyagers, that's us. If you go to our website right there, we have a page dedicated to volunteering and internships where we can help assist you and even give you some volunteer opportunities within our company as well. There's also another website, Volunteering in Ontario. So it's ontario.ca, and they have their own page there to kind of assist you in finding what's right for you. Go Volunteer is also a nice place to find volunteer opportunities in Canada. These are all free for you. And also LinkedIn. LinkedIn also has a crazy amount of volunteer opportunities. And some people post volunteer opportunities on job hunting websites. So that's something you should definitely take a peek at as well. Like I said, you need to do your own research in your community because it's very specific to your community needs. All right. And as I mentioned, there's a beautiful, beautiful program in Ontario called Achieve Ontario Certificate Program. So to quote their website specifically, it recognizes the skills, tasks, time, and talent that goes into each volunteer opportunity and alleviates and elevates outstanding individuals. Sorry about that. So their goal is to give volunteers government certificates that can make corporate language align with your volunteer and job experience for when you go in the field. So if you finish volunteering at a place, they can already change that jargon so you don't have to extrapolate it, and it is government run, so it is accredited. So people don't have to really take your word for it per se. They already have a solid reference for you. And this is a great free program, and you can check it out on their website. It's designed to assist youth and newcomers, as yourselves, to Canada with gaining Canadian work experience to break into the job market. It's really hard for international students and settlers to break into the job market right after school without these types of skills. And this volunteer opportunity through Ontario, Canada, is a great way to start. And there's lots of local places here in Sudbury, specifically if you're in Sudbury, but all across Ontario. I'll give you a brief peek into what this is. So the Achieve Ontario certificates, they have a website, achieveontario.ca, I believe. And you will go log in here. You can also Google search it. You will want to log in or create a profile, pretty straightforward. It's very easy to do, actually. I was very surprised. You just create a username, password using your email, first and last name. And then you will enter your data, as you see here. And then once you're in here, you can go to trainers and certificate users, certified users. And here is just one snapshot of types of places that are on this platform. There is a few in Sudbury specifically. And essentially, it's a database of Ontario organizations and companies registered for this program. And I hope that our company will be getting on there very shortly because we're looking into it for sure. There's many within Sudbury, and there's multiple pages of these. So I hope and strongly encourage you to take a look at this type of program. It is fantastic and made specifically for newcomers. And how can we, HY Voyagers, help you with volunteer opportunities? Well, HY Voyagers offers a wide range of volunteer opportunities within our company. We have events and things that we sometimes require volunteers, which we'd love to have you. And we also have our own program to assist finding volunteer opportunities that suit you and your skills and interests with our large network of employers and partners. We branch our network as well as a company and have different opportunities available for all of our Voyagers out there. So please, if you are interested in any of these opportunities within our company or matching to somewhere else, we strongly encourage you to fill out our application form on our website, found here at hyvoyagers.com/volunteering-internships. It's a quick, easy form, and then we'll get back to you with some opportunities that might suit your needs. Or you can email us directly at captains@hyvoyagers.com. And to end this presentation, I just want to end with a nice Chinese quote. I have it in Chinese here as well by a famous Chinese author, Lu Xun. Apologies if I say that wrong. And essentially this quote is, "Facts beat eloquence." In Canada, a lot of people say actions speak louder than words, and this is pretty much what it means. You might have facts on paper saying you're all these skills, all these things, but it's hard for people in Canada or people that don't know you to just believe what you say. So you have to back up those claims by doing things, by showing the facts, giving data. So this is where your facts or volunteerisms can beat the eloquence of your resume. So I think that's a pretty good way to sum this up. Volunteerism is very important to gain credibility and opportunities and networking and building your brand. Everything is a web that connects you, and then it'll help you have a crazy fun life here in Canada. I want to thank you for listening, Voyagers, today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can leave them on our website or on our email address. We'd love to hear from you all the time. Very social we are. And please follow us on our social media. Also like, subscribe, and hit the bell here on YouTube if you want more content as it comes. And thank you so much for listening. And I hope all of you have a wonderful day. And I hope we can help you with your volunteer opportunities. And we want you to gain the experience you need to be successful here in Canada. Bon voyage, Voyagers!